Hello and welcome to CKE 10,001's gaming channel. In this video, we'll be looking at my Haruhi Powerup set Japanese Weiss Schwarz deck profile. So I use the Powerup set for Haruhi as a basis, and then add additional cards from there. So the first card we have is the 4 copies of the Haruhi Brainstormer. I believe the first effect is being your attack phase, you can choose one of your characters, give it 500 attack power. And the second effect is pay 1, rest this card, put 4 cards from your top deck in your weight room. For each climax reveal, you can salvage an SOS Brigade character or Brigade Chief card from your waiting room and add to your hand. So that's 4 copies of this card. Let me try to zoom in a little bit to give it a little more focus. There, it looks a little better. The next card we're running is Prim and Proper Haruhi. 2 copies of this. When this card reverses your opponent's character, and then you rest one of your characters and move it to the back line. So you can actually rest a reverse character and put it to the back, and it's like a +1. So 2 copies of this for tech. Next up, we have 3 copies of the Powerup set Mikuru. When this card is placed on stage from your hand or from the memory, you can mill 2 cards from the top of your deck and put them in the waiting room. The second effect is when this card reverses an opponent's character, you can send this card to memory. During the beginning of your draw step, you call it back. So just remember it's there and to call it back. Sometimes I forget it too when I send it to memory. So 3 copies of this card. Try to focus on that bit. There we go. Next card we're running is 3 copies of Mascot Mikuru. So this card's effect is when another of your SOS Brigade characters is placed on stage from hand or memory, that card gets 1k power and T. So that level 0 I just showed was a card that could combo from this when it's placed from memory. So let me focus on this a bit. There you go. Then we're running 4 copies of Christmas Nagato. It's a Ricky effect. So when you play this card, you pay 1, take a hit to your deck for a level 1 or lower. The second effect is when this card attacks, you can choose one of your aliens or SOS Brigade characters and it gets 1k. Can't remember if it's frontal or direct, but you can check on encoredex.com to get the English translations. Then we're running 1 copy of Usual Haruhi. When this card reverses an opponent's character, this card gets sent to memory. And then again, it combos with that Mascot Mikuru. It's just a 1 copy tech. If you get to level 1, you can use this to run over your opponent's 0 and get the ability off. Then we're running 2 copies of Flower Viewing Mikuru. When the card is placed on stage from your hand, choose one of your time or SOS Brigade characters, and it gets 1500 power until end of turn. So you can choose itself or something else. Then we're running 3 copies of this Nagato from the Powerup set, 106k. The first effect is a downside. You can't attack level 2s or higher, but the second effect acts as a backup on the stage. When your other SOS Brigade or alien character is frontal attacked, you can put this card in the waiting room, pitch a card, and give it 3k power. Then we have our level 1 climax combo from the Powerup set. When this card's placed on stage from your hand, it gets 1500 power, so it's a 106k on a red stock charge climax. The climax combo is when it reverses your opponent. You can choose a SOS Brigade character from your raid room, add to your hand, and it also can snipe a level 0 character on your opponent's center stage and send it into the waiting room. So you're running 4 copies of this card. Then we have 2 copies of the event card, 1/1 event card. Not interested in ordinary humans. You can only play this card if you have a brigade leader, so you have to have a Haruhi on the board to play this. And what it is it's search your deck for up to 2 SOS Brigade characters, and you pitch a card. So it's a double tutor pitch one, so it's nice filtering and consistency. Then we're running 1 copy of the Bow Waitress Mikuru from Secret Bunko. The first effect is pay 1. So on attack, pay 1. Trigger check twice. Second effect, it's early play beater, so it sends your opponent's early plays into your clock if they have 1 clock damage. Then we're running 2 copies of the Sneaker Bunko 3500 backup. You can actually take 1 copy out of this deck and put in the Power Up Set promo card that assists level 3s. And then we're running 1 copy of Cat Ears Mikuru. The first effect is a continuous effect where it minuses 1 soul for the character in front of this card. The second effect is the more useful effect. If you hit level 3 first before your opponent, you can pay 1 stock when you place this card from hand to the board, and your opponent can't play climax cards until the end of their next turn. So you lock them out for 1 turn. So the next card we're running is Prim and Proper Nakoto, 2 copies. The first effect is when this card is placed on stage from hand, you can pay the cost, pay 1. If you do, this card gets the following ability until end of turn. When this card's battle opponent becomes reversed, you can put the top card of your clock into your waiting room. Second effect is when this card is placed on stage from your hand, you can put all your opponent's characters on their board into the memory, and if you do, you put them back on their stage in any position, separate positions. So you can rearrange their board, bring the backline up, and reverse those characters to get the heal effect off easily, and your opponent's effects that last until the end of your turn actually get those abilities removed because the characters move from memory onto the stage, being new instances of those characters being called. So it's a very nice card to counter opponents. Then we're running 4 copies of the early play Reindeer Mikuru. If you have 2 or less clown cards in your waiting room, it gets -1 level from your hand, so you can play at level 2. The second effect is your opponent can't play backups for this card. Sorry for that. My camera memory card ran out, so I'm going to refill here a bit. So there's 4 copies of this card. The second effect is no backups for this card when it attacks. The third effect is it heals. And we're running 1 copy of this 10th Anniversary Haruhi card. When you play this card from hand, you can salvage an SOS Brigade character from your waiting room. And then the second effect is a climax combo that combos with your other level 3 as well. Someday in the Rain. When you attack with the card, you can sacrifice 1 of your other characters, put it into the waiting room, then reveal a top card of your deck. If it's a level 1 or higher SOS Brigade character, you can superior call it and get an additional attack. So you would attack with another character, attack with this, sack the character that already attacked, superior call the SOS Brigade character that's level 1 or higher from your deck, and get another additional attack. So that's how you combo with this card for Someday in the Rain. And then the more reliable, consistent finisher is the Trouble Girl Haruhi. I run 3 copies of this. First effect is to heal, and the second effect is on attack. If you have Someday in the Rain in your climax area, deal 1. So it's a heal 1, deal 1. So it's more consistent than the Superior Call level 3. Then next up, we have 4 copies of the Red Stock Charge Climax for the Power Up Set level 1. And the final 4 cards is Someday in the Rain Climax card for your 2 level 3 finishers. So that was my Haruhi Power Up Set deck profile, Japanese. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and check the link in the description for EncoreDecks.com.